Today, in this content creator series of videos, we're going to be taking a look at the YouTube algorithm and what you can do to optimize your videos to make sure you have a chance of standing out in YouTube in 2020. Now, YouTube is becoming increasingly more and more popular with over 31 million YouTube channels and over 300 hours of video being uploaded to YouTube every minute. It's an incredibly popular platform, which is awesome for the viewer, but it really does present a challenge if you're wanting to create your own content, and especially if you're a new YouTuber that doesn't already have an audience. So today I want to look at these 5 tips that can help you optimize your content and have some chance of building an audience and standing out in YouTube in 2020. But before we do that, a quick discussion about your content creation aspirations that will help you determine the type of content you need to be producing before we go on and worry about all of the optimization factors that will help your content actually get propagated through the platform. So the first thing I like to do when creating my own channels, or if I'm working with a client in terms of building their own social media presence, is to understand what they're actually looking to achieve out of having this presence, and secondly, who their target market is. That's really important because that actually helps you define not only your content in terms of the creative output, but also the frequency and the direction you need to be taking in terms of the content. So having an in-depth understanding of these goals is of paramount importance in the YouTube game and in social media in general. Now, having said all that, let's go ahead and have a look at my top 5 tips for optimizing your content for YouTube. And at number 1 is the thumbnail and title of your video. So once you have developed your content and you're ready to upload, you need to put a significant amount of thought into your title, and that title will include the keywords that are likely to be search terms that people are actually looking for on YouTube. So there's a number of ways to explore keywords. You can use a website called TubeBuddy. You can use Google AdWords and look for keyword popularity. And you can also run some searches in the YouTube search field itself, and some suggested titles will appear for you. And make sure that you have a title that doesn't copy other creators, but has its own unique flair and style that can help it stand out. The next one is your thumbnail. So you need to make sure that it stands out and cuts through amongst the competition. Above all, when YouTube is showing your video in a search result, people are going to see the title and they're going to see the thumbnail that's going to help them determine whether they actually want to click through and watch your video. So these 2 factors are upfront and really important that you get these right and that they stand out and give you some chance of having that viewer actually click through. Be aware not to produce clickbaity titles or thumbnails, because they can actually work against you if the viewer is disappointed with your content once clicking through. And we'll talk further about that in one of the next topics. The next thing to have a look at is your description, your tags and hashtags. So when you go into your YouTube Creator Studio to upload your video, you'll see a large description field. And here you're presented with the opportunity to express what your content is about in words. So rather than copy the exact content that was in the video, be a little bit creative with this and make sure you're including keywords, once again, that your viewers might be searching for. Make it authentic and natural, because the algorithm can understand that if you're just copying and pasting or using your script from your video. So make it flow, make it read well, and check your grammar and so on. And you also have the opportunity to place hashtags in your description field, and these will appear just below the video. And don't forget the tags just below the description area. There's an option for you to add tags, and this is very important because the algorithm uses this directly to understand the keywords that are related to your video and help serve that content up to potential viewers. The next topic I want to talk about is watch time, and this is becoming increasingly more important in the algorithm as it's been evolving over the years. And the watch time tells YouTube how long a viewer is actually watching your video. So it's one thing for them to click on the video and start watching, but it's another to actually get through your content and be engaged with it. So if the algorithm detects a long view duration above 40 to 50%, then it's likely that your video is going to be suggested to more viewers and be presented in both the YouTube search results and appear as a recommended video. If your view duration drops down lower, below 20 or 30%, it indicates to the algorithm that something's wrong with the video or that the viewers just aren't compelled to keep watching. You're going to lose points and potentially your video is going to have a lot less chance of being displayed in a search or in a recommended video feed. So the watch time is really important. A lot of people are preoccupied with producing content above 10 minutes, especially those that have become monetized. To be monetized in YouTube, you need to get to the point where you have 1,000 subscribers. And once you do that, you are monetized. And if you have content that's longer than 10 minutes, you have the option to place ads before and in between the video, which in turn will help you make more revenue from that video. So if you are going to produce longer content, examine your motives. If you're doing it just to place ads in your content, that'll only frustrate your viewer and will probably make your watch time drop lower, as opposed to creating great, compelling content that your viewer actually wants to watch all the way up to the 10 minutes or beyond. So if you are going for longer content, beware that if your watch time drops, that could actually work against you. The next thing to consider is engagement on your videos. So irrespective of the type of content you're producing, what you're looking to achieve is to have people like your video, to have comments come through your video, and not just any comment, but comments that contain positivity, phrases and keywords that can trigger the algorithm to suggest that the content is of high quality. So the more comments that you're getting on your videos, the more likely the algorithm will keep recommending it to other viewers. And finally, having people subscribe from that video is going to make the algorithm feel that your content is so good that people want to subscribe to your channel and therefore recommend it further. So if you can get a subscription directly from that video, that's going to go a long way to helping the algorithm recommend your video further. And also outside of the platform, just bringing more subscribers to your platform in general means that when you produce a new video, there's a chance that YouTube will show that content to some of your subscribers. So that also works well for you. And on a final note, in relation to subscribers, it's important to understand the way the algorithm works in sending your brand new video content out to your user base. You would think that because you have a certain amount of subscribers, when you release a new video, that everyone is going to be alerted. Unfortunately, because of the overwhelming amount of content available to YouTubers and to people viewing the platform, that the algorithm has to be very selective in who they recommend the content to, even if they are a subscriber. So certain factors involved will include how many other videos your subscribers have viewed, how often they view your content, and also the algorithm will go into the keywords and the metadata to look at whether the content that you're presenting is a match to what that viewer is currently viewing. And it will also determine things like the view time that we discussed earlier to decide whether it's going to send your video to that viewer or not. So even if you have a great subscriber base, it doesn't mean that you're going to keep getting the benefits of views coming from that subscriber base. You need to keep working on your content and making sure you're building and expanding your audience at all times. I also mentioned before the importance of getting likes. Getting dislikes can sometimes be helpful to show that there's contrary opinions coming through your video, but you do want to make sure that you have more likes than dislikes, again, to play into the hands of the algorithm. So there are my top 5 tips for optimizing your content for YouTube's algorithm in 2020. If you found this information helpful, hit me up with a like and consider subscribing to the channel, and you'll be notified of up and coming video releases. See you on the next one. Bye for now.